Hey guys, Munsinger here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, yeah, we just had the Heroes reveal stream. Certainly very interesting. The hype was high going into it because we all wondered, you know, is this going to be the final Heroes celebration? We got confirmation that it indeed is. And so I think it was mentioned very early on because, of course, remember, there's no English version of the live stream. There never has been for Heroes. So we kind of rely on any information in English to be posted on Twitter, which it was after the stream had finished. We did get the producer letter posted on the global Twitter that we are going to go through and look at here now. So we found out very early in the stream that this is indeed the final Heroes celebration. And they did actually confirm that the Heroes units for this celebration are not going to have Dragon Ball Heroes category allies restrictions in their passive, because obviously going forward there aren't going to be any more Heroes characters. Although they did mention that they could have crossover restrictions or restrictions for other categories, which is fine, right? As long as it comes to when it comes to team building, as long as we can use them on some other teams and stuff, then I think it will be okay. So we are going to go ahead and go through the producer letter here and go over all of the information that was laid out in the stream. We've got some translations for 2 of the EZAs that we're going to be getting. And then, of course, we will be speculating about everything else that we're going to see, because there is a little bit of mystery still to come as well. So we are going to dive into all of that here on this video right after this special announcement. Gaming and energy drinks have always gone hand in hand, and as Dokkan players, we can always use more stamina. Whether you're link leveling to boost that power level, working your way through the new events of a celebration, or just waking up super early for the crazy time banners are dropping these days, you can always use a good pick-me-up. Introducing Player Ammo. This powder-based energy drink not only tastes good, but it's made with no sugar or artificial colours or flavours. Best of all, Player Ammo has a 100% official and licensed partnership with Dragon Ball, making it the perfect match. There are 3 great flavours to choose from in the Dragon Ball collab: the OG Dragon Ball Pineapple Coconut Crush, the DBZ Lemon, Lime and Mint, and the Dragon Ball Super Black Cherry Blast. There are plenty of Dragon Ball shakers to be had as well, all with officially licensed Dragon Ball art. Able to ship anywhere within the UK, with future expansion being worked on as we speak, this is a great time to get on board with a tasty, healthy energy drink from a company started by fellow gamers and anime fans. You can use the referral links down below and use code TheMaskedIngen at checkout to get 10% off your order. So I hope you guys will give them a look, and shout out to everyone at the Player Ammo team for partnering with the Ningen Club. I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so let us go ahead and jump right in here for the producer letter. So this is the Dokkan Battle International version Operation Team. Super Dragon Ball Heroes collaboration special campaign is available starting from the 5th of November PST. So obviously for us in the UK or EU, whenever they post these dates and they mention PST, it pretty much always means that it's going to be starting early in the morning of the next day for us. Right, so this is going to start the morning of the 6th, which is Wednesday. If you're in the US, it's going to be late in Tuesday evening, or potentially even the very, very early hours of Wednesday morning, depending on which time zone you are in. Now, the most important thing here, which I kind of missed when we first read this, most important thing to take into account here is that it does say some campaigns and summons will be available at a later date. So the campaigns thing is interesting because no mention of, well, we're going to go through obviously all the details in the producer layer, but we're coming from the info that they had on the stream as well. No mention of a red zone or a Supreme Magnificent Battle, or there is some other events that they talk about in this that we're going to talk about. Actually, I don't know if they even are in the producer. No, they are in the producer layer. They're in the stream, but we got some details for those too. So yeah, stuff like coming out later in terms of events, that's fine. That's something we would expect from a normal celebration, although I believe Heroes normally drops like everything at the same time, right? Because Heroes normally, last 2 years in a row, dropped on the 22nd. All the content is just out on day 1, and then the next new thing came out like 7 days later or something, right? So this makes it seem like this event is going to be staggered, or this celebration is going to be staggered, but it says some campaigns and summons will be available at a later date. So that heavily implies that there are going to be other summons at a later date. And of course, the big thing, we're still keeping that like cope alive, right, for the Heroes LR to finally get one. That could mean a part 2 LR banner, because it means something, right? There's going to be some other summons available at a later date, but what does that mean? Because we know we're going to get the actual main banner, and then we're going to get an EZA banner that has all of the 8 featured EZA characters. So what other summon banner could we get? So we will see. Now, in terms of events, Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover special missions. These missions will allow you to recruit female warrior of the Glass Tribe, female warrior in black. So apparently they're going with, which is interesting if this is the last Heroes collab as well, very weird that they're doing 2 of the warriors in black from the Aos like Time War saga, but they're just calling them Warrior in Black and not their actual character names, which of course are revealed later on in the saga when they get unmasked or uncloaked or whatever. But they're not going to do any of the other ones because this is going to be the last hero celebration, which is an interesting choice to like start the Aos arc, but they're never going to finish it, which is certainly very interesting. But yeah, she's going to be the free-to-play character, which means it'll be interesting to see actually when she'd get an EZA, right? Because the free-to-play characters normally EZA a year later, but I guess we'll see. So the second page of the producer layer, Super Dragon Ball Heroes New Space-Time War Saga. This is a special event that follows the Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Creation Saga released last year and will allow you to enjoy Goku and friends fights against Fu in Dokkan Battle. I believe this is just the I think I was going to say this is just the story event, but it does say clear the stages to get items that can be used to strengthen characters. So this is either going to be skill orbs that are exclusive to Dragon Ball Heroes characters, or it could be, as they've been doing like with the anniversary and the worldwide, because Fu and Goku are on here, who are like the 2 main headliner units, this could be unique skill orbs for them, right? Like how the memorable battle stage was giving unique skill orbs for the worldwide characters and for the anniversary characters. That would be kind of cool if there was unique skill orbs for these guys. Then we have Super Dragon Ball Heroes Special Battle. In this high difficulty event, you'll have to face characters featured in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Collaboration Special Campaign, which has been held annually since 2020. Super class characters will show up in Stage 1, while Extreme class characters will appear in Stage 2. If you clear these 2 stages, you can get a special wallpaper, so make sure to try them both with your powered up characters and the newly recruited ones. The event period will be announced in game at a later date, so when the event is actually coming out, we'll know for sure. That could be one of the events that isn't releasing straight away, based on what we saw on the first page. So then they show new Dragon Ball Heroes collaboration characters, and this is where I think the feelings, I don't even necessarily want to say the feelings are very mixed. Everything I've seen from when the stream ended, even including what we were seeing in the chat, like, people are a bit disappointed with the selection of characters. I know you guys, I made a video about it. I asked you guys who you wanted to see. There was 3 different versions of Heroes Gogeta that we could have got, and we did not get a single one. We got the Universe Tree Power Absorbed Goku. Now, he does seem pretty cool. He seems like, from the animations they showed in the stream, he has an active skill where he's joined by Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the duo Goku like key binding Kamehameha thing, which looks pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, as I said on the stream, like, it's as cool as the animation looks, and he has like his main super attack is a Kamehameha, but it's like a different sort of angle. It looks kind of cool, like where he's charging it up and everything. But it's a Goku that does a Kamehameha, which is something that feels like that could be in any celebration, right? Not the Heroes celebration, a Goku that does a Kamehameha, right? So it's a little bit disappointing, even if he is kind of cool. I do think the design's cool, the Universe Tree Absorbed. I know some people don't like it because it kind of seems like it's like Goku essentially getting a version of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, which was a unique Vegeta thing. But I think it's kind of cool. Obviously, we need to wait to see the kits for the actual main new units, but hopefully he will be good. Then we have the Kid Fu, who's got the crazy full name, Full Youth Dogi Dogi Fully Absorbed. Remember, of course, these guys, Demon Race characters, will be on the Lord Slug team. He could be certainly a very interesting unit. The Dark King Fu from last year was a solid support unit for the team. Then we have Eos herself, right? The previous Supreme Kai of Time from a long time ago. Again, weird that they're kind of starting this arc, but they're never going to finish it if we're not going to get any more Heroes characters. Creation of a Dark World. We've got Dark King Demigra, Power of Time Unleashed. So we're going to have Dark King Fu, we've got Meki Kabura, and then we're going to have Dark King Demigra as well. So good buffs for the Demonic Power team. And then, yeah, we have the Warrior in Black, brackets, Super Saiyan, brackets, Dark Dragon Ball boost. So no worries with this guy clashing with anyone else's name in the game. I'm pretty sure this guy's supposed to be Bardock, even though he doesn't have the bandana on in this art, because he has the scarf that kind of hides the bottom part of his face. So it'll be interesting to see, like, if he's actually on the Goku family category. But the biggest takeaway from this for me is that they only show 5 characters. Now, we talked about this in some of the videos building up to these reveals. The Heroes banner is normally 7 units, but it's usually 5 new units and then the 2 units from previous years that still need to get an awakening into a TUR. But there are no Heroes units that need to get awakenings into TURs. They're all awakened already. So that means that this is either going to be a 5 featured unit banner, which I think is very unlikely, because that would actually be kind of awesome with the Heroes banner being guaranteed featured with every summon. If there's only 5 characters, much easier to get the characters like in a short time, right? Get a couple of copies of each or however many you want to try and get. Or are they going to throw on 2 of the older characters are still going to be featured even though they already have awakenings? Like we could have Limit Breaker Vegito and Super Saiyan 3 Rose from last year potentially could be featured. Because we know the EZA units will be featured on their own banner. So this is very odd. And also lends some potential credence to what they're saying in that first page, that some summons could be available later, because there could be a second banner. But again, that would also be odd, like a second banner with a few characters on it with guaranteed featured, but maybe that part 2 banner is going to be an LR banner. That's every year we talk about Heroes LR. This year we've been talking about it because it could have been the last celebration, which we now know it is. So an LR would be a great way to sort of sign off the Heroes celebrations for good. And the fact that they've not shown, like they've not done one of the characters that almost everybody expected. So maybe Limit Breaker or Blue Evolution Gogeta is coming, but as the part 2 LR. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then we've got the EZAs here. Obviously the 8 summonable units we already knew about. I did a video going over these guys. Check that out if you want. We go over what I'd like to see from their kits and everything. And then obviously Toa was the free-to-play unit from last year, so of course she gets an EZA this year. And at the bottom, the sad news, Super Dragon Ball Heroes will end its service. This means that this will be the last year we are having a Super Dragon Ball Heroes collaboration event. However, we are still planning to strengthen collaboration characters by Extreme Z awakening them and more, so please look forward to it. So this means that, like for example, next year, whatever they decide to do in November, whether it's a Divers collab or if it's just a crossover, maybe like a Xenoverse collab or something, they're still going to drop EZAs for the Heroes characters, which is interesting. But it also says Extreme Z awakening them and more. So could we see some of the older Heroes units get a Super EZA? Like what does this mean necessarily? Could one of the older Heroes units, instead of getting an EZA or getting a Super EZA, like awaken into an LR maybe as well? Who knows? More LR cope for Heroes, who knows? But yeah, very cryptic as to what this could mean. And then the last page of the producer letter is just talking about the fan meetup for the anniversary. You had to get a high score in the Videl burst mode and obviously be a resident of the United States. So it's not something that was of any use to me, but it is what it is. So then we have this thing here. This is what I wanted to zoom in on just to say, right? The strengthen collaboration characters in the future. This is very, very interesting. We have the stats for the EZA characters here. I mean, the thing is, I don't find these normally that important because once they're on a team with all the different leader skill buffs and all the support and the links and everything, it's not like these are the numbers you actually see. So for me, I'm not one of those people that can look at these numbers and be like, oh yeah, that's really good or that's really bad. But a couple of people in the comments saying that they've got solid stats. The Super Saiyan 3 is having actually fairly high starting defense is quite good. Meki Kabura is of course a nuker. So his stats are going to be kind of all over the place based on orbs. So this is the art for the Trunks and I say the art, but like the announcement they showed on the stream for the Trunks and Pan EZAs. We do have some initial early translations here. because at the time of recording this right after the stream, Global hasn't posted them and no one's translated them on Twitter yet, like Goresh or Minato. So from what I can see here from these initial translations, God Trunks Easy A, his super attack is greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, immense damage and seals. He gets 1 key and attack and defense 50% for each Dragon Ball Heroes or Time Travelers character on the team, whichever is higher. So they did give him an extra category for his passive, which is what we really wanted. Although unfortunately, I really wanted it to be Vegeta Family or Realm of Gods, and it is Time Travelers. That's still good. At least he's not completely locked onto a Heroes team now. He gets 100% attack and defense on Super with a 70% chance to crit now instead of 50, which is good. If all allies attacking in the same turn are Heroes or Time Travelers, he creates Rainbow Orbs and gets an extra 50% defense on Super, so that's very useful as well. And then if all allies on the team are Dragon Ball Heroes or Time Travelers, launches 2 attacks that have a high chance to become a Super. So that means if with the best RNG, he could get 4 super attacks in 1 turn. And he's getting 150% on super, if you have the full rotation, and he's greatly raising on super as well. So he has the potential after like a 4 super turn to have pretty high raw defense. Sadly, he doesn't have any other defensive tech though, so no guard, no damage reduction, means even if he's getting up to like over 1 million defense, he can still take some big damage from some of the big super attacks, but he should be hitting really hard and be a Rainbow Orb changer, so that is pretty good. And then of course we have the Pan. So Pan, Trunks' leader skill is Heroes 180 as well, which is cool. Pan, crossover, 3 key 170. She greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn on super. I don't think she raised defense on super before, so that's good. And then her passive is attack and defense 140%, an extra 70% attack and defense when performing a super. Crossover allies key 3 and attack and defense 40%. Heroes allies receive an additional attack and defense 20%. So that's really good. Heroes allies get 60% support. Great chance to crit, so 70% chance to crit. Great chance to dodge. Defense 70% within the turn with each attack evaded. And then attack and defense 70% and all allies chance of performing a crit 15% per crossover ally in the turn excluding self. So if she's on a full rotation of crossover characters, that means she's getting extra attack and defense and giving all allies 30% extra crit chance, which is pretty cool. That means Trunks is pretty much going to be like guaranteed critting, which is nice. So she seems pretty good. An extra 70% defense within the turn with each attack evaded is quite nice. Because that means she will jump up with each dodge and she has a 70% chance to dodge now. So that's pretty nice. And then we have the special events. So this is the one, like I say, to get the wallpaper, like with the 2 stages, and then, actually no, I think, is it this one? This is the special battle. I think this is the story event. Yeah, this is, oh yeah, because this is the one that says get items to strengthen specific characters. So this is going to be, I guess, like the more memorable battles event, and then this one is the special battle that gets you the wallpapers. So you can see here when it comes to the superclass characters, we're going to at least be fighting God Trunks, Limit Breaker Vegito, and Universe Tree Goku, and then Hearts, Fu, and Demon King Demigra for the extreme characters. So there you go, that is everything that was shown on the stream and on Twitter. We don't know the main unit details, but we do know that the Heroes celebration is starting in just a couple of days time, less than a couple of days really from now. But with the potential that more stuff is going to come throughout the month. So let me know what you guys think down below. I know a lot of people are a bit disappointed, but it really does seem like with the way things are spread out and with what they talked about on this very first page of the producer letter, it definitely seems like something is being hidden and something is going to be released later on. Now, that could be something equally as unhyped, which would be really disappointing, but you'd have to hope that for the final Heroes celebration, they have to know that people want like Blue Evolution Gogeta, Blue Kaioken Vegito, or Super Saiyan 4 Kaioken Gogeta. Hopefully something like that is going to come a little bit later on in the month, but I guess we will have to just wait and see. And as always, you know, even if this one's not as hype and doesn't have like any of the characters I really wanted to see, we will keep the Heroes agenda alive. I will be showing off all the characters. I'll be getting them all done, maxed out, link leveled, all that stuff, going through all the difficult events with them as we do every year. we will still keep that Heroes hype alive as it is the final celebration. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on the unit choices? What are your thoughts on everything that we're going to see throughout the rest of the month? Are they done? Is there more coming? Let me know everything you're thinking down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.